everybody, my name is Amanda and this is my garden. We have not done a garden harvest in about 4 to 5 days, which means everything is out of control and I really need to get this stuff harvested today. A lot of it might be going to the animals because we have a lot of cucumbers and just different things that are very much overgrown. So we're going to go ahead and pick all of this food so that we can process what we can and go ahead and give the animals a treat as well. First things first, we're going to go ahead and harvest these cucumbers that are behind me and get all of those in our bucket. Now we are going to go over to our second bunch of cucumbers. So all of the cucumbers that are over here were from the first area we just picked cucumbers, but they were overcrowded. And so I moved them over here on this trellis and they're just doing amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and get these picked. There are a lot on here too. We are done harvesting all the cucumbers, I think. I'll probably find more as we're walking out of the garden, but our biggest thing to harvest are going to be these giant serpent gourds. They are huge, and they're literally weighing my trellis down, and I don't know how well this trellis is going to withstand this much weight. So I do know I'm going to need to add some supports to the middle of this trellis really soon because this plant has decided to just go crazy and is producing so much food that the PVC pipe trellis is just not going to do the trick by itself. So we're going to add some more supports, but that's going to have to come another day because today we just have enough time to harvest our food. Let's get started. The ideal size. You wanted the length of your forearm. It's a little difficult to get in and out of here. There we go. Lots of fun. Alright, all of these gourds are also weighing down this trellis, but these are gourds that I want to dry on the vine to make birdhouses out of. So we're going to need to leave those there, which means I also need to support this trellis so these can grow and dry out once it gets cold. Now I do have a few things behind me I'm going to go ahead and harvest, and then we have lots of okra. I also have tons and tons of ground cherries, but I've kind of just let those go. They're a little hard to harvest right now. There's a lot of stuff in the way, so they're just going to stay where they're at. A couple of peppers. I've never seen one of these this color. Back to harvesting, and let's hope that thing does not jump on me because I don't like them. This is a lemon squash that I let get too big, and now it's really hard. I didn't realize that this is as big as they got. So hopefully there's some seeds in here that we can save. So our okra is massive. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest everything And then whatever is too big, I'm just gonna chunk over to the pigs and let them have a little snack today, because this is a lot of really big okra. So let's go ahead and get that done. It's full. So if we're gonna keep harvesting, we have to go find another bucket. I knew none of this stuff would fit in my basket, so that is why I got big buckets. We actually have a few yellow squash over here ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab those. I could let this get a little bigger, but I am probably going to cook with it over the next either today or tomorrow, and I don't want it to go bad or get like too big and get too tough. So it's better to pick it now than end up to come out here with something like this size that's really tough and I can't use. Alrighty, we got a new bucket and we are in business. I actually just found all these cucumbers when I walked back over there by the cucumber plant. So we're going to keep going. I have lots of things that aren't quite ready to harvest. We have pumpkins and melons and all kinds of things that we're just waiting on. So I do need to check all of the watermelons back here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that while we're over here. I'm pretty sure I grew these last year, if I'm remembering right, and they only got like this big. Like, they were so tiny, and this year they're getting really big. This one does not have a tag, so I'm not 100% sure what it is. Here, this one is ready for sure. So if we look really closely, see this little tendril right here that's closest to the melon is starting to dry up. So that tells me it's ready, and actually, because it's been in the sun, it feels like it's, see how soft it is? It's actually gonna be overripe, most likely. Cut this one open before we go inside. All these guys hanging, these are my bottle gourds that I'm really excited to turn into birdhouses. So yeah, we definitely need to support this trellis because I have even more of these guys forming. Like, here's another one right here. Let's see. But let me check the watermelon. This guy's ready. So 2 melons so far. That one was hiding in there. These guys are supposed to be small, and they have been there for a little bit, and I've had issues with waiting until like your standard ways of telling if they're ripe, they end up being overripe. So I'd rather pick them a little bit early and then be underripe than them be like alcohol tasting because they're overripe. So we went ahead and picked these as well. That is bucket number 2, almost full, and we're not done yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a third bucket. This one has a handle if it's not gross. Sometimes I leave gross buckets out here by accident, so there is some water in it. Not too bad. I'm gonna wash everything when we get inside anyway, so this is gonna work just fine. We have some tomatoes, and as soon as I'm done harvesting, I'm going to water everything because it is all very, very dry. I have not watered in like a day and a half to 2 days. So tonight I'm gonna heavily water everything to make sure our stuff keeps producing and doesn't die in this heat. It has been so hot, and we haven't had rain in months. I think the last time we actually had a good rain was probably back in June, the beginning of June, and it's now the beginning of August, so if that tells you anything. We're still getting tomatoes though, and I think I'll have some peppers ready. I don't know if I'm going to pick them today or wait until tomorrow after I've watered. Got tomato. Let's see. Let me show you. See how sad these pepper plants look? So they're definitely not too happy with the fact that I haven't watered. This is a little small, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest it. Here, I think there's only 1 or 2. Let's see. That one has a damaged spot, so I'm going to go ahead and give that to the pigs. So I'm going to toss that over to them. That one is starting to blush, so we're going to go ahead and pick this one. All right, let's keep going. So this bed right here is getting a lot of sun during the day, and because of that, you can see it's very wilted, but also this is called sun scald. So this is literally the pepper getting burnt from the sun just from too much sun exposure. And I mean, it happens. So this is gonna get thrown to the pigs too. It's unfortunate and I hate that, but it does happen. It's just part of living in Texas with over 100-degree days every day for the past month and a half, if not longer. It's been insane. My sunflowers seem to be really, really thriving though. These are the micro dwarf tomatoes that we planted a while back, and they're producing really well, especially for how hot it's been. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all those off. And I'm about to plant this entire thing with micro dwarf tomatoes. As long as I can keep it wet enough to keep them alive, I believe they will make it to the point where we get a harvest. This is our harvest for today. We have okra, cucumbers, watermelons, eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, gourds. There's a yellow squash in there. I mean, just all kinds of. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out whenever you do that. And if you have any tips or tricks for any of the fruits or vegetables that we are growing that you saw out here in the garden, leave those tips down in the comments below. It helps everybody when we all share our knowledge. Until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I will see you later. Bye!